Hello everyone, in this video I will show you our new product, and you can see this is KinCony DM16. It's a dimmer controller, and before we have older version KinCony AP and D16, but this time we have made by ESP32S3. So this has 16 channel dimmer output, that is 0 to 10 volt output. So you can connect with a different driver for DC load or for AC load. And also it has 16 channel digital input and have some free GPIO and analog input. So this controller you can integrate to Home Assistant by ESP Home, and also you can integrate to Home Assistant by MQTT using CH ESP32S3 firmware. So it's very powerful. And also we have write the Arduino source code, and you can see many demo source code in our form. And also you can write code by ESP IDF. And so in this video I will show you this hardware details and how it works with the different software solutions such as the Home Assistant and the KinCony Cloud Server and the Tuya application, and also support many different protocols. And later I will show you details. Okay, let's look at this hardware details firstly. Okay, you can see this is KinCony DM16. That is 16 channel dimmer output. And also you can see this used by removable socket. You can see I have many sockets because later I will connect to this board. And this board also support install the DIN rail. You can see you can install in power distribution box. And let's look at, and you can see this one. You can see that have 16 channel dimmer output. You can see ground and ground, and this is 0 to 10 volt output. Later I will show you in multimeter to test the voltage output. And this is IFTTT because this board have two CPU. One is ARM CPU, another is ESP32. So you will see this have two IFTTT. This one is ESP32S3 IFTTT, and this one is ARM CPU IFTTT. So this support Modbus. And this you can manage by ESP32. And you can see this have a LED indicate. The yellow one is running, and the red LED, that is arrow. You can see we have printed it here. This is for reset. Is for ARM CPU, just for IFTTT Modbus reset by this button. And this Wi-Fi extend SMA socket. You can connect with this Wi-Fi antenna or use the external Wi-Fi antenna. And this have free GPIO. You can see this have 3 free GPIO and 3 volts and ground, and USB-C for download firmware, and the Ethernet. And this one you can see the power supply that support 12 to 24 volt. So it's widely used. And this is free GPIO with pull-up resistant. Used for one-wire sensor or one-wire device, and that have a download and reset button for ESP32, just these two buttons. And the power LED is green LED. And this one you can see analog input, 2 channel is voltage signal and 2 channel is current signal as before. And this is IFTTT for ESP32. And this one you can see that have 16 channel digital input. This dry contact signal for 16 channel digital input, and this is Tuya Wi-Fi antenna socket at here, and this one is Tuya yellow LED is Tuya LED, and this is power, and this is for connect Tuya network. By this button you can reset Tuya network. And this OLED display show the Wi-Fi and the Ethernet IP address, sensor date, and Tuya state by this screen. And this time you can see this have a 16 channel buttons, and these buttons just is this one 16 channel digital input, because sometimes you want to test or sometimes you want manual control your dimmer, so you can hold on or you can click, fast click, double click, or single click by this button, hold on, because this can define by IFTTT. So this have a manual control button at here. And let's look at my computer and show you what's inside of this box. Okay, let's back to my computer. You can see This one is DM16, that means 16 channel dimmer, because in future we will release 8 channel version and 32 channel version and 4 channel version. So you can see this is 16 channel, and which interface, terminal interface, all at here. And you can see what is inside. You can see the PCB board have a 2 PCB board. This is the top PCB board for buttons, and the bottom PCB. Oh, sorry, it's a 3 PCB. This also have a B16 core board at here. It's ESP32, and this is Tuya module at here. Okay, so you can see this board have many resources in our form. You can see in our form that have a Arduino source code in DM16 Arduino source code, and the ESP home YAML file with Tuya or without Tuya, and the ESP32 pin define at here. Okay, let's power on and test the board how it works. This controller, and you can see this have many different driver and the lamp this one is the LED lamp, and this one is the LED driver, and this one is AC lamp, and this one is SSR for AC driver. So I will show you how to control DC lamp and how to control AC lamp in this video, just for a demo. And also I will use multimeter to test the voltage for output just by this one. So I will connect this remove socket, and this small board just I use for test the voltage output. Just for test PCB board, you not need to use it. And let's look at all connect and connect with the Ethernet cable. Okay, let's look at how wire this board. You can see this one channel 1, and this is ground. The red cable is channel 1 output. The channel 1 output have connect with this driver. You can see this driver that should dimmer positive and dimmer negative. You can see maybe you have different driver, but the principle is the same. You can see the dimmer positive, this red cable, and the dimmer negative, just black cable. And this one, this is for AC 220 volt for this driver. I just connect directly because I have used this one. We will connect with my AC 220 volt. Okay, so this is the first driver, and the driver, the output connect with this lamp directly. Okay, so the first one, the first channel, just use a DC driver to use a DC lamp. And this one, you can see the second cable that have connected the SSR. So you can see the SSR that should use for max AC max 380 volt, but I use 220 volt, so it's also no problem. So you can see this one for positive and this one for negative, because these 2 points for 0 to 10 volt input. And this one you can see L1, and this is neutral line, and this is leave line. So you just connect with your lamp. So you can see this cable, this red cable go through this lamp, and this one neutral have back. And this back to this socket, You can see this socket have this 2 line, just this one, the blue is this one, and this one is this red, just this one. Okay, so this just connect with this driver, use 0 to 10 volt to change the dimmer for the AC lamp brightness. It also uses this 0 to 10 volt to drive this voltage output for this LED. That is for 24 volt. because you will have a different voltage, some used for 12 volt LED and some used for 24 volt LED. Just choose a different driver, but must according to the input voltage is 0 to 10 volt. Okay, so we will power on. You can see I will power on of my D16M, just power on. And you can see running, this blink is running. And I use Tuya to test, so I can connect with Tuya Wi-Fi antenna. Okay. So I put all lamps and drivers at here. Okay, this is DC, this is AC. And now I will connect with my 2 socket with power. Now you can see this should IP address. We will use this Ethernet IP address login. And this Tuya state is online because I have already downloaded the KC ESP32S3 firmware. And that is Wi-Fi IP address. Okay. Okay, let's back to my computer. And you can see this is KCS firmware, that DM16. You can see the input that used for digital input, and the sensor. If you have temperature sensor, you can connect with the different types of temperature sensor at here. And this is monitor, and you can see the different protocol. You can see the Tuya is connected, and the Home Assistant is connected, and the KinCony Cloud Server is connected. And later I will show you this different solution. And this is analog input, and this DAC, that means dimmer output. So you can see there are 16 channel dimmer bar at here. And the sensor, if you have added sensor, you will list at here. And this one is digital input. So you can see we can change the brightness. You can see the dimmer. This one, you can see. Okay, so this is channel 1. Channel 1 that controlled by KCS monitor. So this is channel 2, that is the AC load for lamp, and you can see okay, and you can see we have connected this 9 to 16 for this smart board, and you can see we can change 16. You can see, and you can see we have used LED because the voltage and the current is very low. So we need to use that driver to connect with the lamp. So you can see different channel, different channel, different channel, different channel. So you can see the output, this output terminal only is current is milliampere level, so it's very low current and voltage. So you need to use this driver and this driver to connect with different different lamp. So this is you show you the voltage. It's a very small voltage. And now I will show you the multimeter. I will show you the voltage, what voltage is output, and what the value is output. And you can see, I can put the multimeter at here, just by this. And I connect with this channel 3. I will control the channel 3 output. And you can see, okay. And you can see now is 0 volt. I will change the channel 3. And you can see the channel 3, this one, 12%, and the voltage is 1.2. And this one, I change to 34, 3.4. And this one, 55, 5.4. And this one, 81, 8.1. And max 100, and this 9.5. 0.9, so almost as same as my computer. So this time we have designed this dimmer for a very good DAC chip, the high quality chip. So let the value output is very good. Okay. Okay, so you can see what is the output voltage on this output terminal when controlled by the different software, the dimmer brightness. And now let's look at this new function of IFTTT. And you can see at here, we can define this K1 and K2, the digital input, and control the different analog output at this version. So you can see I can click edit. And this one you can see the dimmer one, the digital input one is rising edge, means that pressed. And also you can define single click, double click, and different actions. And now you can see the analog output. You can see I can set which channel and to a target value or to a step value. The step value, that means will be have a step value that it become low to high, slowly, 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 slowly. So the direction you can see increase or decrease. So this one, the key one, is let the brightness up. So I choose this increase. Increase 50% or increase any percent just according by yourself, 50%. And how many times? Change this 15%. I have set this 1 second. You can change by yourself. Just when you press this key and between this 1 second and the brightness up 16%. So this for key 1. So that is for key 1. So let's look at what will press by key 1. You can see now this channel 1, the brightness is 0. So you can see I press this button key 1, digital input. You can see I press, and you can see this have changed 15%. So you can see if I press again, this changed to 30%, and you can see this brightness is up slowly. And press again, and you can see 45, and press again, and you can see this is almost 60, and this is for key 1. So if IFTTT, I also have defined this K2. You can see I can edit. That is digital input to rising edge. So, but this time I have let this analog output 1 and decrease by this step of value 15 and also in 1 second. So that means I press this button, the brightness will down about 15%. So you can see the monitor. If I press this K2, this is K2, and press, you can see reduce to 45, and press again. Second time, you can see 30% and press. Okay, 15%, and press again. You can see that will be almost off, just 0. Okay, so this time we have designed the new IFTTT function just for the analog output in action Zen command. Okay, this is IFTTT. And next, let's look at generally that have many protocol have support by this dimmer controller. You can see the KinCony Cloud and the MQTT for Home Assistant auto discovery function, and MQTT for your own cloud server, private server, and HTTP server, UDP server, and TCP server, and IS-45 Modbus. And you can see the first one I have enabled KinCony Cloud. So you can see in our KinCony Cloud server, you can see I have as many KinCony controller in my account. So this is DM16. I can click, and you can see this have 16 channel dimmer output. You can see the first one. You can see my lamp. This time is controlled by KinCony Cloud Server. You can see by internet. You can log in by your any web browser, even if your mobile phone. Also, you can use your computer, any operating system computer, Apple computer or Windows computer, Microsoft. So this one you can see that is for the remote control by internet, by web page, by KinCony Cloud Server. And also you can see that have analog input and digital input. If I press this button 3, you can see I press button 3, you can see this digital input 3 is turn green. So this also can monitor the sensor state just for dry contact sensor state. And next you can see Home Assistant, just used for MQTT auto discovery. You can see just enable auto discovery and import your Mosquito MQTT block IP address and the port and the username and the password. Now I will go to the Home Assistant. You can see if I go to this setting and go to this device and go to this device, and that will auto discover the DM16 at here. So you can see this dimmer, 16 channel dimmer, and input, and the sensor, and analog input. For example, I can click this one. You can see this one, channel 3, and this one I have renamed in Home Assistant. This one is lamp 1. So you can see this also can control by Home Assistant. Just turn off, and the second lamp, and you can see this second lamp in Home Assistant off. Okay, so this is the control in Home Assistant. And next you can see the MQTT. If you want to connect to your own cloud server, and you can use this one and just fill the MQTT block IP address and the password and the username and the password at here. And if you want to use a different protocol, you just enable. So it's up to you. And the next you can see the custom size protocol that used for IFTTT, and you can use for different protocol just for IFTTT. And Apple HomeKit, this time you can use this one, DAC, that update this 16 channel dimmer to Apple HomeKit directly. And the digital input also can be enabled and renamed at here by yourself. And at last, you just click this one, enable, and use this code add to your iPhone or iPad. So this is for Apple HomeKit. And also this dimmer and supported by Luxon mini server. And you can see you can just use for Luxon server, set servers information. And also you can see this supported Tuya, and use a Tuya mobile phone at the same time. So I will show you how it works in Tuya. And this one you can see that is a Tuya mobile phone application, and you can use Smart Life or Tuya Smart. And you can see this dimmer module, just this DM16, and I can enter this page, and you can see we can test the first one. You can see the first one. I can set one. This is for Tuya. If I change the first channel to max, and you will see this is to max update the state. And also you can see the Home Assistant, the dimmer one, you can see set to the max. And also see KinCony Cloud Server, you can see the first at here. And let's look at, you can see the second. If I change to the second lamp at this brightness, and also this one, KinCony Cloud Server is update. And let's look at the lamp 2. You can see the Home Assistant is update. I also can set the Home Assistant back. And you can see the Tuya mobile phone also is update. So you can see I can use the Home Assistant and the Tuya at the same time. I can use this one to control different brightness by Home Assistant and turn off. Okay, this is off. And also I can turn this off. This is off. Okay, so this is Tuya application. So you can see this is DM16 that have a powerful function and used for different application, and you can also write your Arduino source code. You can see Arduino source code at here. So you can use some different software directly. So you can use different application directly, and also you can modify the source code and for your own project. Okay, if you have any questions, you can leave a message to us. Thanks for watching.